Tottenham 2, Arsenal 1. They throw away a 1-0 lead. The first North London derby in the new Tottenham Stadium. Jose Mourinho, dare I say it, pulled off a Jose-esque performance. Boring, drab, negative, but struck at the right times to deflate a fairly impotent Arsenal team, really. Lots of the ball, 80% of the ball in the second half, with no real opportunities, barring an Aubameyang shot to really take home. Terrible decision to start Saka, the most potent, creative player Arsenal have got, on the bench for Pepe, who is still finding his feet in the Premier League. And it's another disappointing result for Arsenal. They now fall behind Tottenham, and they have won. They've been officially crowned today the first winners of the bantamweight title. They have, and I'm really sorry to say that, Arsenal fans, but it was but to be beaten by this Tottenham team at this moment is very, very poor indeed. We're going to jump into some fan cams right now. We've got Adam, we've got Devo, and a few others on the way. Let's see what these boys have got to say. Adam, mate, welcome back, bro. Disappointing performance, poor starting lineup, and you just didn't create.
Yeah, Terry, I'm pissed. I'm really, really pissed. We should have won this game. We should have won this game. And I hate to have put stuff out there before. I was giving it to a couple Tottenham fans, saying that Mourinho's still your manager. We outplayed them. We outplayed them. We had chances. We didn't tuck them away. I think their first goal comes from a mistake from our own player, from Kolasinac and David Luiz, which isn't a good centre-back pairing. So I'm pissed, man. I'm really, really annoyed, because I look at the players that we had on the pitch. I'm looking at Dani Ceballos. I'm looking at Xhaka, who totally dominated and controlled the midfield, and yet we have nothing to show from that performance. It's a mistake and a goal from a set piece, which, you know, I guess you could say have been Arsenal's downfall in the past couple of seasons. There's a lot of things that have been Arsenal's downfall. But to lose the derby in that way, to not get outplayed, to not have Harry Kane score a penalty, or to not do the things that Arsenal typically would have done, like, I don't even know where my mind's at right now. I'm just really, really annoyed that we've lost that game, and yeah, like I don't even know what to say to improve on, because weirdly, I think we did all right.
Did you deserve to win?
I don't think we quite did enough to win. I think if you had told me that we would get a draw, I would have taken it. In fact, no, that's a lie. That's even a lie. No, before the game, we should have beaten Tottenham. But on that game alone, I can say, yeah, we should have got a draw, because I don't think we had an outstanding amount of chances for us to win the game. We didn't miss like guilt-edged opportunities and stuff like that. But I don't know. There's just something about the fact that I literally saw Dani Ceballos have a very good game. I saw Xhaka have a decent game, and it's like we have nothing to show for it. And it's a little bit annoying, because even in saying that, I can't say that we had enough chances to say we should have won the game, but we still should have got more than we got. It's weird, man. I don't even know how to describe it.
And I get that. And I think for me, when I watch Arsenal today, this new formation, the 4-3-4-3 helps, because Aubameyang and Pepe go central. They start quite central. They go central. It really plugs the midfield so you can dominate the ball. The issue you had today, though, is Pepe was in instead of Saka, and you lacked the creative touch. You know, Ceballos, I think Ceballos did really good with all of the, move the ball well. There's a couple of good moves from yourselves. But then when it comes to actually being in the box, actually taking your chances, that's where you lack. There was a great opportunity. I don't remember who played the ball to him, but the ball came in. First time pass from Lacazette into Ceballos. Ceballos first time pass into Xhaka. Xhaka sits down Lo Celso, squares the ball into Bellerin. Bellerin's got the first touch of a baby elephant, that was after it was the quality in the final third, and then defensive mistakes again. Both goals were defensive mistakes for me, and that's where I keep saying to Arsenal fans, slow down. You've got the likes of Egal that come on. I'll chat to him later. They talk it up like you've got a serious squad, and you've just been unlucky. For me, you've got a handful of good players. You've got a decent system with Arteta, but the squad lacks. And it's going to take 2 years to fill your squad full of quality players that are able to deliver it. You know, if you had better players out there today, you slap this Tottenham team that was so poor.
I don't even know if that's true, Terry. I don't even know if that's true because you look at the setup that Mourinho had, and it's like I don't even know when the last time I saw Alderweireld play, like, or at least have a decent game. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, this is like, look at their back line. Look at the fact that he put bloody Sissoko right wing to try and deal with Tierney and Aubameyang. I just feel like the whole Tottenham team, the whole Tottenham setup, it's just poor. Like, I look at what Bournemouth did, I look at what Sheffield United have done to this flipping Tottenham team, and I feel like we've really missed an opportunity here, not only to prove how much better we are under Arteta, because I feel like now, like you just said, I think people are going to look at us and say, "Oh, Arsenal fans have got gas for no reason. There's still a long way to go." Blah 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 blah. But if you're an Arsenal fan and you're honest with yourself, you will be able to say, under Arteta, even since lockdown and since the restart, we've come a long way, a very very long way. To other rival fans now, it looks like, well, Arsenal fans are just gassing about nothing. If a Mourinho team as bad as this can beat you, like, and that's, I don't think that's a fair criticism. I'm not saying that that's what you've done. But I can understand why people like Egal have got as gassed as they have, if he has, because I didn't hear what he said. But if he has, I can understand it because we have come a fair way since Emery and Ljungberg. Obviously, the results today mean that we have nothing to show for it.
A comment here from Daniel says, Terry, as in me, called the game before. Arsenal played the occasion in the second half and got drawn into Jose's games. Potentially, I just feel there's a lack of quality. I wouldn't even go, Daniel, I appreciate the compliment. I don't even feel it got as deep as that. There was no real flashpoints. There was no fighting.
Not really.
It was just, in the cold light of day, in the most important moments, there was no delivery. The comment from KJ, who says, are we going to talk about Aubameyang in big games? Again, he does have a tendency. He does have a tendency. Jerome here says, Arsenal were lucky Kane is still rusty, or else it would have been more than 2-1.
Okay, I can make the same excuse about Aubameyang next. Like, what the hell does that mean? What do you mean? Yeah, I think we do need to talk about Aubameyang. I don't think he had much today. I have to say, Pepe, I think it was towards the latter stages of the first half. I have to say he grew into the game, and I think he was progressing. But you compare that to Aubameyang on the opposite wing, and he didn't have much. He didn't have much, and that's why I can see why people are saying that he should be sold. Because yes, he has got us out of a lot of trouble. Yes, he is our saving grace time and time again. But there is an argument for saying that he should be sold, because for someone who bears that much responsibility on all the other occasions, he kind of needs to step up and do a little bit more on the biggest of occasions. And you've said time and time again that he's a flat track bully. And there's no smoke without fire. There's a case that could be made for it. And to games that they didn't play well.
I get that, mate. We're going to add Devo into the call as well now with us here. Devo, welcome back. I'm not too sure where your camera's gone. I think he's actually frozen. So I'll remove him. He can come back on in a minute. But no, listen, this is the thing. When I say flat track bully, I don't even mean it in a disrespectful way. When we think about our great strikers at our clubs, when we think about the Henrys, the Robin Van Persies, these guys are all great finishers, but they scored so many goals in those big moments, those critical moments, and I don't see that as much. We're gonna do some super chats here. Zane says we are building. I mean, Spurs or United. In the meantime, Spurs or United won't win the league. City and Liverpool light years ahead of Man United is what's said there. I get that. I do get that. We've got another super chat here. They're coming through thick and fast on this stream. Ray says, Jose got Arsenal again, no matter the club. Yeah, Jose does have a nice habit.
Yeah.
That is fair. Unknown Driller says, when Jose loses, you're quick to jump on him, Terry. Now you're giving him zero credit. I literally said at the beginning, dare I say, Jose masterclass. I literally said that at the top of the video. I think you can definitely credit Jose with his game plan today. My argument would be this, though. Why are you not creating that amount of chances against Bournemouth, bruv? I would be angry as a Tottenham fan that today you show up against Arsenal, but you can't show up against Sheffield United. You can't show up against Bournemouth. That's the problem with Jose. There's no point doing it in these games. Jose would do it in these games when he was younger, but not in the, but then breeze past the little teams. There's no point just turning up in the big moments now. A few more super chats. Baz here says it's beautiful watching a couple of mid-table teams battle it out. It is true, and I have to say this, Adam, you have picked up what I'm now I've made this up. I've had 2 viral things today. Firstly, there's the bantamweight title, which I thought was pretty good because bantamweight. And I made. Have you seen my little compilation I made of DT?
No.
I can't show it on here because it's got Michael Jackson music, but he stood up when Son scored and he kicked in the air. It's like and I mixed it into like loads of Michael Jackson songs, and Michael Jackson did it. It's great. It's absolutely bubbling right now. Jordan here says, Terry, I'm no Spurs fan, but give them credit. Spurs played Thursday and Arsenal played Tuesday. That's very true as well. I do get that, people. I really, really do. We're going to add Devo to the stream now. Devo, Arsenal lose another game, but with some elements of good performance. What's on your mind right now, mate?
I mean, let's be honest, man. Emiliano Martinez was our player of the match. You know, that says it all. It was 2 defensive errors, like you said, but at the same point in time, he made a stand-up save on a chip attempt by Kane in the early parts of the game. He made that save up off the bar. Like, honestly, like without Emiliano Martinez, Spurs score 5. Like, I mean, and that's not to say that Alba, you know, hitting the bar in I think like the 65th minute wasn't a chance, but we played slow ball. I mean, there's 3 players that can walk out of that match, from my opinion, with their head held high, and that's Xhaka, that's Emiliano Martinez, and that's Danny Ceballos. Everybody else played with less passion than I have for taking a crap on an early morning with a cup of coffee. You know what I mean? Like that was the least passionate North London derby I've ever seen. I
thought that actually Lacazette had a really good game. I thought his goal was brilliant. I thought he held the ball up very, very well today. It was, and that was what he's there to do. For me, Lacazette's job today it's almost false 10-ish. Crossing a false 10 on the target man. Hold the ball up, play it into your midfielders and into your attackers. For me, Aubameyang, anonymous, again in another big game. Pepe, and I'm not going on at Pepe. Give him another season. But the mistake was, and someone said, Saka looked tired. And I thought, you know what? Rest Saka for the rest of the season. Arsenal are playing for nothing but pride. Saka's a young kid. He can get through today. How are you dropping your most creative player, most informed creative player for Pepe, who, numbers-wise, he's done okay this year. But barring Man United, what big games has he really stood up and we've gone, he's been on point? There's not many. And it was a big mistake.
Here's my other question, too, is instead of playing, Kolasinac, who we know, like, he may have a good run, but he's got that in him every single opportunity. Like, where's Rob Holding? And why did it take until, that late to make those moves that we made? Like, I don't think Willock and Nelson really brought anything to the match that would have really changed up the pit. It was like you said, Saka should have started. A whole lot of questions about Arteta again with lineup selection, and everybody can miss me with this redemption tour of David Luiz and Skadra Mustafi. Like that's what they are. Like what we saw today is what they are, and they may have a good run of matches. I know Skadra Mustafi has been our best defender since coming back from Project Restart. That's not saying much. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we need to understand. That's not saying much,
mate. I hear you, and this is the thing which annoys me. I don't want Arsenal fans to be on Arteta because he needs time to build.
Absolutely,
but I felt that you won 4 games on the bounce, and it was like, yeah, we're Liverpool now. It's like, calm down. 2 of those wins were lucky goalkeeping errors.
Southampton and Norwich, and Sheffield was lucky. Like we got to understand. Norwich just got relegated today.
Exactly. It's mad, and this is the thing. It's just crazy. People get so ahead of themselves all the time. Question here for Adam. It says, Adam, this Arsenal team is doing damage to your hairline, my G. Man's looking stressed.
Yeah, thank you. I'm getting older, man. That's what happens. You lose your hair when you're old. Like, sorry, it's not Arsenal that's doing it.
I put a cap on today, man. You see how it is.
It's all right,
mate. I'm a fine one to talk. My hair is dead. It's gone. Until I get to Turkey for the hair transplant. So we're adding Egal to the stream now. Egal, comment first of all here from Zane. He says, Terry, you still couldn't beat us. you just throw money at managers and overpay for players. I mean, so far you've overpaid for a few, but we'll come good. I'm not worried about Man United beating you. I'm worried about finishing in front in the league, Zany boy. Egal, you look disappointed in your team today. Tell me what went wrong. Why couldn't you beat Tottenham when they're as bad as they are?
Listen, we are not going anywhere with this defense making these many errors week in, week out. Kolasinac cannot. Every time he gets the ball, he passes the ball backwards. It's too predictable. Our defenders keep passing the ball back and forth. Tottenham gave us possession. I would say for the beginning, Lacazette's strike was a beautiful strike. I was giving him grief. Good job. But individual errors and individual skills is the only thing you can depend on consistently from Arsenal. We're going to make individual errors, and we're going to probably get an individual player to make a beautiful goal out of nowhere. And that's what we are. We don't have that many team goals. We will beat teams like Norwich 4-0. I'm going to get excited, and then I'm going to go to a game against Tottenham, see how they performed against Bournemouth, and get myself all excited. And next thing you know, I'm back where I am, square one. This whole situation, ever since COVID came back, it's been the ups and downs, the roller coaster of Arsenal. And I'll tell you this, I'm actually sick of it, mate. It's annoying because this season is just dead to me. There's no point of getting into Europe. We should forego our plans of even getting into Europe. Forget about Europe. Forget about Europa League. Forget about it completely. Because to me, it's doable. We can still get it, but I don't want it. Because I want Arteta to have all the time to coach these players and get his players in. Because if we don't have Europa League, maybe we can actually do something in the league. Focus on the league. Forget about Europa League because it's useless.
I'm with you there, man. Traveling to Oostersunds in the middle of January.
Yeah. Who wants to go to a spaceship arena? Guys, this is annoying. I'm trying to be positive. Every single week I come on here and I tell you I'm positive and I'm seeing improvements. But Kolasinac, what are you doing, mate? What are you doing?
You see Terry up in the top corner just doing the Jack Nicholson meme, just doing
every
this.
time. The guy was on a skating rink. He was playing hockey. He was playing for the Maple Leafs, not Arsenal. What is he doing? Right? On top of everything else, Aubameyang, you're my boy. I rate you so highly. Go near post. Stop trying to do the finish that everyone likes to see. Just go near post, low and hard. You could have gotten 2 goals from that. Earlier in the game, you could have got a goal. Aubameyang is as much as fault of this performance as anyone else in the defense. So do not only blame the defense. Aubameyang is at fault also, and call it as it is. If you're going to blame Mustafi, you're going to blame Xhaka. Today, you have to also blame Aubameyang. Keep it real, guys.
What's Xhaka got to do with anything?
No, I'm saying people always blame those guys.
People throwing them under the bus.
Today, you have to keep the blame at the real people who are at fault.
This is the thing, right? I have 2 issues with 2 groups of people when it comes to football fans. I have an issue with the people with agendas who, let's just say they don't want Arteta in. And no matter what good things Arteta does, they're always on his back. Those people, 0 time for them. Equally, when people are overly positive and they won't admit, I'll give you an example. I remember a few years ago, when Man United beat you 8-2, right? I was happy. But I remember saying after the game, I'm still concerned that you opened us up quite a bit in that game. The next couple of games we won, but we were leaking opportunities. And everyone was like, oh, no, we're scoring loads of goals. It's great. So at some point, it's going to bite us in the backside because the performances weren't quite there. You could see it. Everyone was ignoring it. We then played City and got beat 5-1 at home. And then we really struggled for a few games. And we took us ages to turn it around. We ended up missing out on goal difference that season. But it was, for me, there's always this element of, be realistic. Arsenal fans, win a few games, still know you're 2-3 years away from being where you want to be because of the lack of quality within your squad. And I think, I look at Man United, it's because we're 17 games unbeaten that I'm happy. It's the fact that we're now drilling the lesser teams on a regular basis, which we haven't done factually for 7 years. Beating the Cities and the Chelseas that's lovely. It's amazing.
You have a fear factor about you again. People actually see your badge and think we're probably not going to win this match today. It's going to take everything that we have. Arsenal used to have that. We used to be able to walk in and people would fear the badge just like they fear a City or just like they fear a Chelsea. But now, you do have to be realistic and you do have to understand. We're still going to trot out. If it's not Luiz, it's going to be Socrates. If it's not Socrates, it's going to be Holding or Bellerin or Suarez. We're not trotting out some juggernaut, and understand. And I think all of you can agree with me. Our MVPs this season have been goalkeepers.
Yeah.
How many times have we literally said our MVP is the goalkeeper? That's not good.
And Arsenal are about to make the same. Again, history repeats itself. Arsenal are about to do the same, make the same mistake Man United did. Outside of keepers, because we had De Gea. Who are the players that everybody's like, oh, we find when Saliba's here? Saka's the future. Martinelli's the future. It's like, yo, teams shouldn't be relying on kids to be their talisman, to be their go-tos. It doesn't work. When kids thrive is when they're surrounded by elder statesmen who are great. And you need to do it. And it's about going out there. And it's, Upamecano, great. He's a kid still. We've seen.
You hear the Tottenham fans outside my window? They're going crazy.
I bet they are, because they're gonna be well happy. Like for me though, as I say, I look at this, and when it comes to Arsenal fans, it's like be realistic, And I'm talking from a person who made a mistake. I got ahead of myself this time last year, as Adam knows, and it led to an emotional breakdown. It's an emotional breakdown where I suddenly couldn't see any positive because I was so angry that I wasn't right. And that's what people do. Don't just be positive because you want to look like a positive Arsenal fan. Equally, don't just be negative because you're chasing clout on social media. Say it as it is. You can criticize Aubameyang without being a bad Arsenal fan. You can criticize Pepe when he doesn't do something right. Don't be these blinded fans that just chat absolute breeze week in, week out, game in, game out all the time. It just frustrates me. The lines are open if anybody wants a free phone and call in now. The StreamYard link is in there. We'll keep the boys on for a little bit.
Can we take any positives from this performance?
I mean, honestly, the performances that you can take are like Danny Ceballos put in an effort. That's what I'm saying. Like there are three players that I felt Emiliano Martinez has shown himself to be a number one capable goalkeeper in the Premier League. So when Bernardo comes back, there is honest competition to see who's going to be our number one. I fully believe that. And there's a reason that Martinez is getting looked at by Argentina, which is not a slouch side. You know what I'm saying? So that's a positive. I think Granit Xhaka played extremely well, but we need to play positive football. We play in the 90th minute, needing a goal, down a goal at White Hart Lane or whatever they're calling that new spot. We're playing tiki-taka and back pass into the keeper. Like, where's the attack? We need a creative 10. I know there's some issue that Mesut Ozil's never going to play for us again, but who's going to be our creative 10? Like, who's going to be the link between the forward play? Because the forwards, if Lacazette is dropping so deep, Aubameyang sometimes gets drifted out on the left, and there's no connection. So what I miss in this new formation is the creative link. Who's going to be the Santi Cazorla? Like, where is that player? Where's the Aaron Ramsey? Where's the creative spark? Because like Egal said, we're relying on moments of brilliance to get our goals. There's no team build. There's no Jack Wilshere, at Norwich a couple seasons ago where there was 37 passes and then
not even Aaron Ramsey at Fulham. That's not going to happen these days. Let's keep it real.
Yeah,
right.
This team is.
Who's
Terry, you said this team is a couple years away. I think you might be wrong. Because on one thing we've seen from even Man United, it only takes one player to up the whole levels of the whole team. Like you need individual players that are up the whole level. So if you can get that piece, that missing piece,
what you're looking at in that, what you're looking at again, what you're missing is you don't have a Harry Maguire, you don't have an AWB, you don't have a Paul Pogba, you don't have that, you don't have an anti. You've got Saka, right? You got Martial, right? You've got Greenwood. There's so many other Bruno was elevated, but everything was there. The same as Van Dijk elevated Liverpool, but quality was there. And I think Arsenal is still a little bit behind that. We're adding Fuad to the stream now. Tottenham fan Fuad, how you doing, mate? Congratulations on the victory.
One sec.
In his earphones.
Fuad.
Yes.
Fuad's here.
What's going on?
You must be buzzing. What's going through your mind?
Listen, good result, big result. I said going into this game, I didn't feel like the rest of the season we got much to play for, and having seen all the noise coming out of the Arsenal camp over the last couple of weeks, it's all been, we've got our patterns of play going, we've got good football coming, Arteta's doing the right things, and I thought, do you know what? This is classic where Jose is set up for this type of game where the odds are against him. He's going to set up a little bit more defensively, which, to be honest, I think both teams, their shape surprised me, which at the start of the game, Arsenal going with a back five told me they'd be a bit more cautious and they're actually wary of us. And us playing 2 banks of 4, which we haven't seen Jose switch from that 4-2-3-1, which is something I've been screaming for. But I think every player kind of played to their role, kind of knew what they was doing. And listen, the result, it speaks for itself. Like 2-1, can't complain.
What do you think stopped Arsenal? Because for me, I saw a lot of huffing, and they couldn't blow the door down. And a lot of the ball, 80% of the ball in the second half as well. But they had a few openings and opportunities, but not very much else. And they were leaking at the back. I mean, Harry Kane, if he had his boots on today, he could have scored 3 or 4 goals. Was this just a case of Jose at this point still being a superior manager and tactician to that of Arteta?
You could say that, but I think Arsenal were a little bit unlucky in all honesty, because I think had Aubameyang scored that chance against the post, they could have this game could have gone either way, because Aurier and Ben Davies, I felt like, were giving Arsenal opportunities. And one of the slight mistakes I thought they did was taking Pepe off. I thought he was really threatening and kind of constantly at Ben Davies, kind of playing more inside. And I thought that was a big mistake, kind of taking him off, because Saka, when he came on, he didn't really have much of an impact, to be honest. But I thought, yeah, you could say Jose kind of schooled Arteta, if you like. But I think, yeah, it's just vintage Jose, this one, for me. It's the kind of games he's built for. High pressure moments, set up kind of ugly, and kind of grind out the result. And as you said, Kane there, for me, was unlucky not to score. He got in a couple of good positions. I thought Martinez in goal for them saved them on more than a couple of opportunities. Son had a good chance as well. He could have scored, but hey, we'll take it however it comes at the moment at Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, it's free home games on the bounce that you've won, which is positive. I suppose the only element I'd be disappointed as a Spurs fan is that you turned up against Arsenal today. The tactics were to not have the ball. So we can say you're dominated for possession, but if you let people have the possession, I don't know if that's being dominated.
Yeah.
But you're not having a shot on goal or a shot on target against Bournemouth is a madness. And that's where Jose's got to improve, because it echoes what he did at Man United. You turn up in lots of big games, but so many poor, well below average performances when you're playing against the bottom feeders of the league.
Yeah. And I think definitely that's one criticism I am of Jose. It's you can't be making the smaller teams who are fighting relegation look like Barcelona. And that's what Bournemouth looked like against us. Like, they were dominating possession, had us camped in our own half. I think Harry Kane's average position was the centre circle, which kind of tells you what our shape was. And for me, definitely, I agree. But I also feel like the way we're attacking at the minute, it's kind of going through our fullbacks are offering the width in Aurier and Ben Davies. And a lot of times when we get the ball out to them, they're not able to deliver that final cross. They're not able to deliver that final end product for me. They're lacking that bit of quality. And it's kind of a little bit when United fans had Valencia playing out wide, where he would do the same shimmy, get down the right and do this floating cross that goes absolutely nowhere. And you just kind of think, you're kind of beating the same horse again and again and again, not going nowhere. But the one improvement today I saw was definitely more service to Harry Kane. And that's what we want to see against the lesser teams. It's Lo Celso being more direct and trying to play over the top balls, and Lucas Moura and Son actually trying to play 1-2s and link up with Harry Kane. We haven't seen that in ages. I feel like Harry Kane a lot of the time has played isolated against Spurs, and we've kind of just sat back. But today there was moments of pressing, moments of actually hunger and desire, and we kind of need to see that more against the lesser teams, I would say.
Yeah. Thank you, mate. Assad, who do you support, mate?
Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm a United fan.
What would you make of this today? I like to get the perspective of neutrals on this. What went wrong for Arsenal?
There was no clear-cut chance, really, or minimal, in my opinion. I just felt like they were like a bit like United before Bruno, sort of. They might well have the ball, but they don't really do enough with it.
I thought Ceballos had a lot.
And I think they just didn't create enough. Lack of quality, probably. But yeah, I think Arsenal could go somewhere with Arteta, but they just need that quality to come in. And I'd give him a season, 2 seasons, personally, if I was an Arsenal fan. And I think Tottenham under Mourinho, personally, I don't think they're going anywhere. Even if they let him bring in players, how many has he got to bring in? 7, 8, 9, 10. They're not going to let him do that for one. and they're not going to let him get rid of 7, 8, 9, 10. They're not going to. So I think and his tactics dead manager. I was so happy when he left.
I hear that.
My guy.
You called this absolutely right. You said that Jose would, pull it off. He'd do something. You called this 100% that this happened today. Did it play out exactly as you thought it would?
Yeah, like typical Jose performance. Don't look the greatest going forward, but you get a couple of chances. Oh, hello.
I can hear you, KJ. Sometimes
okay.
the guest can't hear. I can hear you, bro. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, just like he defended well. Like Arsenal they held the ball in the midfield quite a bit, but just there was no penetration. There's no real threat. Aubameyang with their two best chances that cut back in early in the first half. He fluffed his lines, and then that one that hit the post. It was similar to Martial's against Villa, where he should really put that away at the end of the day. But Jose doing what Jose does best. Being a criminal, robbing 3 points from people when he doesn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, that he did well today. He made the right changes at the right times. He got the game plan right, and Arsenal unfortunately fell into his hands, and they weren't hungry enough by the looks of it. They just didn't want to win enough. They weren't trying to be creative enough in that game. So they got what they deserve.
Arsenal fans in viewing, and obviously Adam and Egal, you got Liverpool. You played Liverpool before the FA Cup semi-final or after the FA Cup semi-final?
Before, on Wednesday.
So, yeah, what's your prediction for your game against Liverpool?
1-1 draw. That's me being optimistic because we can't look at history. We can't look at anything. Liverpool have been bad over the past couple of games. We just lost to Tottenham. If I'm going to try to be optimistic, I can say the best I can see is a draw. But if we lose like 4-0 and then we lose to Man City, mate, the season is going to have a terrible ending.
Yeah, I don't know about a 1-1 draw. I don't know about all that. But one thing I'm certain of is that we're going to see who the real Scottish left back is, and that's Kieran Tierney, Andy Robertson. We're going to be sure of that, and I can guarantee you 100%.
Yeah, the worst team to face after a Liverpool loss. We got Liverpool, then Man City. This could get ugly, guys. Just please.
Don't underestimate the beach that Liverpool are on right now. Don't underestimate that because they're just chilling.
Bantamweight champs for another year.
Yeah, Fuad, man, leave me alone, man. Honestly, I'll tell you something.
Go on, mate. Go on.
I was gonna say one thing. Both teams, you could say, had played evenly. If this ended as a draw, you'd say it was a fair result. But I think you guys just got that second goal and shut down shop, and Mourinho, that's what he's good at. But I think when you look at the grand scheme of the game, I think it was if it was ended as a draw, we would both say it was a fair result.
Yeah. No, I agree. I thought the game was close. I thought you lot had chances as well as us, but it's about taking them at the end of the day. And
you see that smile on Fuad's face. You see that smile, a smile of a crime happening, a smile of a robbery.
Friend zone football is not a nice place to be when you do all the hard work.
The record is on it,
and then somebody else slips in. You're like, had this happened? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a crazy friend zone football today, Arsenal. Listen, guys, I appreciate you all coming on, having your say. We'll chat to you all again soon. All right, take care. Thank you all very much. Everyone who's tuned in, do me a big favor. 2,000 of you on right now. Hit the like and share button for me. Really important to the channel that you get that done. Let's get this to over 1,000 likes. It'd be amazing if you could do that. It really, really would. I'll wait to see if they start. There we go. Let's start moving up. But until next time, thank you. Take care of yourselves. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.